Hello, my name is Angus, and today I'm going to show you how to make this crocheted plastic bag holder. To make this plastic bag holder, you're going to need just over one ball of I Love This yarn acrylic, 5.5mm crochet hook, a needle to weave in your ends, scissors, hair tie, and 2 stitch markers. Now, before I get into this tutorial, I would like to say that this is my very first long-form content video, and it's not the best. It's easy-ish to follow. I would say it's pretty easy for the most part. It's just a little rough around the edges. So please, in the comments, tell me what you did and didn't like about the tutorial, and maybe some tips and tricks. And worst case scenario, I remake the tutorial so it's easier to understand. So let me know if you would like me to do that. But with that being said, let's get started. To start making your plastic bag holder, you're going to want to grab your yarn, how you find it comfortable, and lay your hair tie over the yarn like so. You're then going to insert your hook into the hair tie, yarn over, and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through the loop that was on your hook. You're then going to want to pull on the tail. You're then going to want to do 30 single crochets into the hair tie. Once you are done doing your 30 single crochets, you're going to want to insert your hook into the first stitch you did and do a slip stitch. Now you're going to chain 1 and put a half double crochet into the stitch you put the slip stitch into. You're then going to put a half double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 in the stitch after that. Now you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a half double crochet in the stitch after that, and then 2 half double crochets in the stitch after that. So you're doing 2 half double crochets, and then 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, 2 half double crochets, and then 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. And you're going to do that all the way around the row. And I will meet you back whenever I am done. Now that you have finished this row, you're going to insert your hook into the first half double crochet you did and do a slip stitch. You're then going to chain 1 and insert your hook into that same stitch that you just did the slip stitch into and do a half double crochet. You're then going to do a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Now you're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. And then 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Then you're going to do a half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. So on this row, you're doing 3 half double crochets, a half double crochet increase, 3 half double crochets, half double crochet increase, 3 half double crochets, half double crochet increase. And you're going to do that all the way around the row. And I will meet you back whenever I have completed this row. Now that you've completed this row, you're going to do a slip stitch into the first half double crochet you did. You're now going to chain 1 and put a half double crochet into the same stitch you did a slip stitch into. You're then going to put a half double crochet into every other stitch in this row, or every single stitch in this row, sorry. And I will meet you back whenever I'm done. Now that you have a half double crochet in every single stitch of this row, you're now going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet you did. And chain 1. And then put a half double crochet in the same stitch. And so for this row and another 2 rows, you're going to put a half double crochet in every single stitch. Remember, you're going to do that for another 2 rows after the row that you're working on right now. And I will see you whenever I get done with that. So once you have done your row of single crochets, 2 rows of increase, and then 4 rows of half double crochets, you're going to insert your hook into that stitch you put your last slip stitch into, and you're going to do a single crochet. You're then going to chain 1, yarn over, and put 2 double crochets in the same stitch you put your single crochet in. You're then going to yarn over, skip 2, and do a double crochet. You're then going to do 2 more double crochets in that same spot. You're then going to yarn over, skip 2, and put a double crochet in that 3rd stitch from your hook. Then I'm going to put 2 more. Yarn over, skip 2, then 3 double crochets in that stitch. So in this row, you're doing 3 double crochets in every 3rd stitch. So you are yarning over, skipping 2, and doing 3 double crochets in one stitch, yarning over, skipping 2, then 3 double crochets in one stitch. And you're going to do that throughout this entire row, and I will meet you back whenever I am done. Once you have completed that row, I only have one stitch and then I have my slip stitch, and that's fine. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the chain you did at the very beginning and put a slip stitch into it. Okay. You're now going to want to go into this space and do a single crochet. You're now going to chain 1, and then in this space, do 3 double crochets. Then in the next space, do 3 double crochets. And then 3 double crochets in the next space. Okay. So you're going to do 3 double crochets in each space around, and I will meet you back whenever I get to the space that we started in. So once you have gotten to this point, you're going to do 2 half double crochets. You're then going to do a slip stitch into that chain. Now in this space closest to your hook, you're going to do 1 single crochet, then 1 chain, and then you're going to do 2 double crochets in that space, so it looks like you have 3. Then in the next space, you're going to do 3 double crochets. Then in the next, you're going to do 3 double crochets. And you're going to do 3 double crochets in every stitch. And I will meet back to you once I'm almost done with this row. So once you are done with this row, you're going to do a slip stitch into that chain you made at the beginning of this row. So this next row you're going to do is very similar to this one, because in fact it's the exact same, because you're going to do a single crochet in the space closest to your crochet hook, and then do a chain. You're then going to go to the next space and do 3 double crochets. You are then going to do 3 double crochets in each space, and I will meet back with you whenever I am done with this row. Once you've reached the end of this row, you're going to do 2 double crochets into that last space that we started in, and then you're going to do a slip stitch into that chain. Your next row is going to be just like the row we did 2 rows before. And so you're going to do 1 single crochet and then chain, and then 2 double crochets in that same space. Then you're going to do 3 double crochets in the next space. And then 3 double crochets in the next space. And you're going to do that in every single space around the row, and I will meet you back whenever I'm done. So now that you're done with this row, you're going to slip stitch into that chain. Okay. So now you're going to repeat this row where you do the single crochet and then chain, and then move on to the next space. And then after this row, you're going to move on to the one that we had just done. And you're going to continue going back and forth from those 2 rows until you've done a total of 12 rows of these granny stitches. And you should have done 4 by now. And I will meet back with you whenever I am done with my 12 rows of the granny stitch. Once you've done your 12 rows of the granny stitch, you're going to do a single crochet in that chain stitch that you made at the beginning of the last row. You're going to do a single crochet, then you're going to chain 1. You're then going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet in the stitch after that, and the stitch after that. So you're doing 1 double crochet in each double crochet in the row before. And so you're going to do that in every single double crochet stitch in this row, and I will meet you back whenever I am done. So once you have finished this row and joined using a slip stitch, you're going to do the row again, and you're going to do a single crochet and then a chain in that stitch you did the slip stitch into, and then you're going to do double crochets in every double crochet from the previous row. And you're going to do that for both this row and the next row for a total of 3 rows of just double crochet. And so once you finish those 3 rows of double crochet, I will meet back with you. So now that you've done your 3 rows of double crochets, you're gonna put a single crochet into the same stitch that you put your slip knot or slip stitch into, and you're gonna chain 2. You're gonna skip 1 stitch, and then you're gonna put a double crochet in the next one. So it looks like this. You're then gonna chain 2, and skip 1, put a double crochet in the next. going to chain 1, skip 1, put a double crochet in the next. Chain 2, skip 1, put a double crochet in the next. So you're skipping 1 every time, and you're chaining 1, skipping, and chaining 2, skipping. And you're going to do that all the way around until you reach the end. And I will meet you at the end whenever I'm done. When you reach the end of this row, you're going to have 2 stitches. And that doesn't really work out evenly. And that's because we have an odd number of stitches. So we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to put it in the stitch right after this. So we aren't skipping 1 there. And then we're chaining 1. And then we're putting it, and then we're going to do a slip stitch into that chain, the first chain we did. Okay. Now, you're going to slip stitch into the second chain. Now you're going to do a single crochet into that space and chain 2. Now you're going to put a double crochet in that space, chain 2, put a double crochet in the next space, chain 1, put a double crochet in the next space, chain 2, double crochet in the next space. So you are chaining 1 and putting a double crochet in this space from the row before, chaining 2, putting a double crochet in the next space on the row before, chaining 1, next space, chaining 2, next space. And you're going to do that all the way around. And I'll meet back to you whenever I get to the end. So once you've done this last double crochet in this row, you're not going to chain, and you're just going to slip stitch into that first chain that we did at the beginning of the row. Now that you finished the second row of this double crochet, you're going to put a slip stitch into the second chain you made at the beginning of the last row. Then put a single crochet in this space, then chain 1, no, chain 2, sorry. Then put a double crochet in that next space, chain 2, put a double crochet in the next space, chain 1, double crochet in next space, chain 2, double crochet in next space. So you're going to go back and forth from chaining 1 and then doing a double crochet in this space and chaining 2 and double crocheting in this space. You're going to go back and forth from doing that, and then I will meet you back whenever I'm done with this row. Once you've made it all the way around the row, you're not going to chain anything, and you're just going to do a slip stitch into the first chain that you did at the beginning of the row. Okay. So now you're going to do a single crochet in the stitch you just slip stitched into, and you're going to chain 1, and you're going to do a double crochet in the space. And then you're going to do a double crochet in the next double crochet stitch from the previous row, and a double crochet in the chain 2 space, and a double crochet in the double crochet stitch from the previous row, double crochet in the chain 1 space, double crochet in the double crochet from the previous row. And you're going to do that all the way around, and I will meet you back whenever I'm done. Of double crochets, you're going to do a slip stitch into the first chain you made at the beginning of the row. And you should end the row with 51 double crochets. If you have less than that, it's fine. Just add a little bit of increases somewhere in here. If you have too many, do some decreases or skip going into one of these. For the next row, you're going to do a single crochet in the first stitch and chain 1, and then a double crochet in the next stitch, and then one after that, the one after that, and every other stitch there is in this row. And you will do that for both this row and the next row. So once you've done a total of 3 rows of normal double crochets, then I will meet back with you. So now that you've completed another 3 rows of double crochets, you're going to put a single crochet in the first stitch and chain 1. In the same stitch, you're going to put another 2 double crochets. You're going to skip 2 and place 3 double crochets in the third stitch from the hook. Gonna skip 2 and put 3 double crochets in third stitch from the hook. Skip 2, put 3 double crochets in the same stitch so it'll end up looking like this. And you're going to continue to do that all the way around the row, and I will meet back with you whenever I'm done. Once you've finished this row and slip stitched into the first chain that you made at the beginning of the row, you're going to do exactly what you did in this part, okay? And you're going to do that until you have 12 rows. And as a reminder, you're going to go into this backspace and chain 1, and then move on to this next space and do 3 double crochets in each space. And then on the next row, you're going to immediately be able to go into the space in front, and you won't have to do this. And so once you are done with those 12 rows, I will meet back with you. Once you finished your 12 rows of the granny stitch and slip stitched into the first chain you did of the last row, you're going to chain 1 and put a half double crochet in the same stitch. You're then going to put a half double crochet in every stitch in this row. Now don't place it in the spaces in between the granny stitch. You are just putting a half double crochet in the stitches, not the spaces. Okay, so once you are done putting a half double crochet in every stitch in this row, and they've slip stitched into the first half double crochet, I will meet back with you. So once you've placed the half double crochet in every stitch along the row and put a slip stitch into the first half double crochet you did, you're going to chain 1 and put a half double crochet in the same stitch, and you're going to put a half double crochet in the next stitch. And now you're going to do a half double crochet decrease, which you do by yarning over, inserting your hook, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarning over, inserting your hook into the next stitch, yarning over, pulling up a loop, and then yarning over and pulling through all 5 loops on your hook. And then you're going to do a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then you're going to do another half double crochet decrease. Yarn over and do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. And then another decrease. So for this row, you're doing 2 half double crochets, and then a half double crochet decrease, 2 half double crochets, half double crochet decrease, 2 half double crochets, and a half double crochet decrease. And you're going to do that all the way around the row, and I will meet back with you whenever I'm done. So once you're at the end of the row, you should have 3 stitches left. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a half double crochet decrease. And then you're going to do a slip stitch into the half double crochet. And so now for this row and the row after that, so for the next 2 rows, it's just going to be half double crochets. So you're going to chain 1, put a half double crochet in the same stitch, and then put a half double crochet in every stitch around the row. And you're going to do this for both this row and the next row. And I will get back to you once I am done with those 2 rows. Now that you've done those 2 rows of half double crochet, you're going to put a slip stitch into the next stitch, and then the next 3 stitches after that. And then you're going to put a single crochet in the next stitch, and you're going to put one of your stitch markers into that single crochet. And now you're gonna count back 4 single crochets, or not single crochets, 4 half double crochets, 2, 3, 4, and put your stitch marker into the 4th half double crochet. And now you're going to put a single crochet in all of the stitches until you get to here. And so once you get to here, I will meet back with you and I will show you what to do. So once you get to this point, you're not going to put a stitch into the stitch that had the stitch marker into it. Instead, you're going to chain 10. Then you're going to take your stitch marker out of the stitch or the other stitch, and you're going to put a slip stitch into that single crochet. You're going to chain 1 and then do a half double crochet into that stitch. And then you're going to place another couple of half double crochets in the next couple of stitches, and then place your stitch marker into that first half double crochet. And now you're going to place a half double crochet in every stitch around, and then you're going to place 1 half double crochet in every single chain. And once you're done doing that, you're going to put a slip stitch into this half double crochet, and then you're going to do that row 1 more time just without chaining these, and you're just going to go into the stitches that you placed into the chains before. So once you're done with those 2 rows, I will meet back with you. So at the end of the row, your bag should look like this, with your handle having 2 rows and looking very nice and cool. And so once you're done with this row, you're gonna take your scissors and snip off the yarn. I like to cut my yarn right around here-ish, in between where I hold my yarn with my pinky and ring finger, and cut it. And then yarn over with the yarn, and just do a chain, and then pull my hook outwards until it comes through, and I just pull tight. And then you're going to weave in that end, and then you're going to come down to the bottom of your plastic bag holder and weave in this end. Now when you come to weave in this end, make sure that it is not like right next to or right on this hair tie, because if you do that, whenever you pull it tight and then it closes, it's going to start poking out a little bit and it's not going to look nice and neat. Okay, and then once you're done doing all that, you should have this really nice plastic bag holder that you can hang up on a hook and store your plastic bags for whenever you need them. So that is the end of the tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like and maybe even subscribe. I'm planning on coming out with some vlogs here pretty soon, and you might enjoy those. But if you noticed anything that you did or didn't like about this tutorial, please make sure to put it down in the comments if you feel like it. Or maybe even some tips or constructive criticism, because like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm new to this whole content creation thing, and so I will take any tips or tricks or criticism that I can get. But please just make sure that you're being kind and polite about it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone! Thank you, Elmar! Boom!